Hey guys, Mike here. So another fun week ahead. Hope everybody had a great 3-day weekend. I know I am still currently enjoying mine and will be going out in my front yard and dropping some dimes in a football game with my son and all his friends and stuff. They're waiting on me right now, so I'm gonna knock this recording out for you guys. And it's gonna be an interesting time because we don't have a lot of data this week. No major earnings, a lot of earnings, no major earnings. But what's funny is things are still so out of alignment. Okay, and I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. When we're coming into this period of seasonality, which is terrible. I'll show you. Sentiment's terrible, but retail is just rushing into the market as well, which that's always kind of an interesting sign. And here we are sitting at all-time highs. SPY wicked above the old all-time high. So now we got the QQEW, the SPY set a new all-time high. The rest of them have not, still trying to move up. I thought the Qs would, but it did not. And so we'll go through a few charts and I'll also talk to you about a sector because there are some stocks like sitting at very key levels right now. Like they need to bounce, right? They need to move up from here. But there's also a sector I'll talk to you about. One of the members asked about. I'm curious to get your opinion on it because it's been just nuked, absolutely nuked. And when is enough enough? That's really the big question, right? It's like with Chinese stocks. When was enough enough? They've bounced back multiple times. They're having some bounce backs now. Again, if that's going to continue on. But all stocks eventually, especially if they're actually make profit, make money, all that stuff, and then with legitimate companies, it ends up hitting a pain point to where all of a sudden the market, the big boys start moving into it and trying to push it up to a certain key point. So we'll go into that as well. But when we look at seasonality, you can see, I got 3 different sources here for you, that we are entering a point where, yes, normally end of February, March, early part of March and stuff like that, even March in general, is not that favorable towards the market, even though, but what are we entering now? We're going to go to price discovery on the SPY and the S&P. If you look at this one right here, different source, you see kind of the same thing, right? Late February, early March right there. Doesn't look all that great. Then we'll bring in the presidential stuff. That makes you feel better. Another source right here, Trader's Almanac or Almanac Trader. And you see this takes in the post-election from all of them. Russell, NASDAQ, S&P. I don't see anything pointing up. And so here we are this time. So we're going to see if seasonality is going to win out or not. That is going to be the question. Let me know what you think down in the comments. But what's funny is you're sitting here with sentiment. What do you think the stock market is going to be in 6 months? And it's at its lowest it's been in a long time. 28.4% on the bullish side, 47%. Obviously, we'll get a new update on the 19th on this right here, or actually the 20th it will be. But you can see sentiment sucks. But at the same time, when you look over what retail's been doing, they've been just moving into it, right? Retail trading saw massive numbers. Top 3 largest days on record happened in 2025, which is kind of surprising. This is from Bank of America. You see year-to-date retail imbalance, then highest imbalances. And so, of course, retail just been buying in. Now, retail doesn't make up a big part of the market at all, right? But normally when you see retail kind of moving in like this, it makes people nervous because like, uh-oh, wait a minute, they're fixing to dump it on us, especially we're sitting here all-time highs, about to go into price discovery. So again, everything's not really lining up, and so we're going to see which one's going to win out, okay? When you look at the chart, we wicked right above the previous all-time high, just barely, okay? And then closed below it, as you can see right here. Again, we finally broke out above that ascending line, which it took a while to do that right there. Again, the Qs has not set a new all-time high, just FYI. The RSP has not as well. The fact that QQEW did, that's actually not a bad thing at all, right? It just means they were buying more members. Again, I'm sure you saw this in your portfolio because the Mag 7 has been dragging. And if you're looking, if we break back above and close above that all-time high, you can see the levels right there, like 612, 617, 625. If we get into price discovery, okay, we've been here before. If we come back down, I'll just say right around like 606.82. See if that holds, or are we going to break below it? Right now, we had like the futures open a half day today, and they ended up green. And just because I do have a channel, I had to put this on here. You can see it the other day. What's it going to say? Double top, right? We hit it, we bounced, we got rejected. And so this is kind of what happened almost to us last time where it said there was a double top. That double top did not play out, but yes, we did come down. All right, last time it tried to go up here and set a new all-time high. And so again, am I expecting that to play out? No, but the fact that we're going into this kind of seasonality and everything, just want to at least put it on there for you. Now, NVIDIA, obviously everybody's looking at this right here, coming up to this trend line. And if NVIDIA and some of the stocks I'm going to talk about start to break out, guess what? QQQ is going to all-time highs. SPY is definitely going into price discovery once again. And so that's your target right up there. And it's going to be, a lot of people calling for 442, 443 right there. Don't be surprised to see a rejection. Definitely hold that 130, 133 area if we do happen to come back down. Tesla, obviously, this right here got turned into resistance the other day, right around that 360-ish area right there. If we do come down, pretty obvious, that 100 moving average, 336, somewhere in there, you're looking for support. We break back above, boom. If we break that trend line right there, the ascending trend line, we're going to the 50 moving average. I think it's pretty much that simple. That's not even that far up there. So it's around 400. Again, it's a moving average, so it moves. But, it's only like 12% away. I mean, Tesla did like 6% the other day or something. So that's not a big deal. If not, then guess what that becomes? It becomes another lower high as we continue to move down. And what are we going to be watching? And NVIDIA and Tesla move in the same direction. We get one day, and the next thing you know, NVIDIA is going super green, Tesla is selling off. Okay, but if those two start moving together, then you got Microsoft here. Again, this one right here needs to hold like that 403 level. If it doesn't, it falls in this gap right here, which is not a good thing. And I showed you the distribution phase, right? And you look at this, that's what it looks like it is. And since it's one of the top 3 heaviest weighted stocks in the market, that would not be good for the market. Again, here we were coming up in this seasonality era. And so if that happened, you kind of go, oh, man, well, look at that. What about that timing? And so again, we got above that little area right there because it was getting rejected around that 408, 408.50 area. Did break above that at the end of the day. As you can see, they pushed it up on Friday. So watch Microsoft. AMD is another one in a very interesting spot here, coming up against the 50, which was support many times, coming in and also correlating with that descending trend line, which is rejected off of 4 different times now. And so again, is this going to break out, or is this just going to be another lower high? Okay, heading back down to that area. If it does break out, 137 is your target. That's the way it is. If it breaks above the 50, you can turn all that into support, that trend line and everything. Then 137, this thing can start pushing. Okay, we just got to see, what's going to happen over the next few weeks here. Again, all the major earnings behind us. Are we waiting for FOMC again? Like, what are we doing here? And so that's what we're going to find out here when it comes to AMD. Amazon, this is another one, along with Google. I showed that last week. It's still in the same round. But here's Amazon, sitting on its 50. Sitting just right at this trend line support, which has bounced off of many times, sitting at horizontal support. And so this one is another one that needs to bounce. Again, if it doesn't bounce, probably heading down to the 0.79 first, and then probably heading down to 216 after that. And so it's just another one setting up for it. If you get the bounce, obviously it's going to start moving up to the all-time new high right there. You can see it's kind of just wedging right now. And so it needs to make its mind up for sure. But there's another one. Google, you pull up that chart, it's going to be the same thing. Where you're in a discount, coming down to support, all that fun stuff. I think it's below. And the problem with Google is, I showed you last week, it has a gap down below it. That's what makes it a little riskier here. And so we'll see if this is going to hold, if this is enough of a discount for the market or not. And so again, if the Q starts setting new all-time highs, SPY does, this one's going along with it most likely, or this one has gone along with it and started pushing it up. BABA right here, you can see finally got above last week and held the 200 weekly moving average. This is important. I'm showing this for a reason. So I'll show you this other sector. It makes sense. And so you can see with this one reporting earnings very soon. I think it reports on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. You can see your area right there, 150. I think it's the overall target on this, but just the next levels up, 138.07, and things like that are going to be the big ones. If they hang the moon on earnings, then obviously it's going to continue to move. And this one is done well, but if you start pulling up other Chinese stocks, they've done way better. I mean, I think even XPeng has done better than BABA so far, which is kind of crazy, right? But if it keeps pushing, there's that weekly fair value gap to go into, which will probably slow it down. Support is going to be anywhere from 115, 120 area. If we come back down, if it just craps on earnings, then forget about it and come down way lower than that. But again, just a normal pullback, that's normally the area you can look for. Now, a lot of people and a lot of eyes are going to be on the dollar. Okay, this is a big one. It's been breaking down. This is a big area right here for around 106.67. We're going to see if it's going to hold that. And if it ends up breaking that, then it's going to break down even more, which is going to be good for certain sectors. Okay, it's going to be good for any emerging markets. That is for sure. Another one to look into is going to be the material sector. You can clearly see, as I pull it up, the inverse relationship with materials. Okay, and so if that happens, just watch it. Because material stocks, whatever it is, the sector should do good. You can see it right there. It's been breaking down. Materials have been moving up. And you can look over to the left. That is pretty much an inverse relationship if I've ever seen one. And so pay Very close attention to that one. Now, one sector to watch here is going to be the beauty sector. I'm curious, like, are you any of you in these stocks, and like, what's enough blood right here, right? How much more do they want to take this out? Because all of them are above the 200 weekly moving average at this point in time. You look at L. I mean, it's just so far, but this thing is so far below its 200 week moving average, like 70%, which is crazy. I think Michael Burry just bought this one, so it got on a lot of people's radars or whatever. But it can't have anything to do with China, because I looked it up and it says like L and Ulta, they don't really make hardly anything in China, versus like Elf, for example. Elf makes like 90% of their stuff in China, I read. And so tariffs would be really bad on them. And you can see it's below its 200 weekly as well. But all the charts is like a hot mess, don't they? And they've just been hammered. I mean, hammered and hammered and hammered. And I know, they say it's slowing, but eventually at some point in time, again, all stocks come down the way and sectors come down. They go, okay, we've had enough. Let's go ahead and start moving this thing up. And so I'm curious to see what you think about this one. If you think it's actually gonna one of these will catch a bid, or if the sector's finally gonna start catching a bid or not. Because that 200 weekly can be a magnet, to where if you break above, that's indication that yes, most likely we're moving higher for sure, because that's a big achievement to get back over that 200 week moving average. So just keep that on your charts for these. And when it comes to earnings, you can see on Tuesday we got Baidu reporting, and then in the afternoon we're going to end up with Oxy, Devon, Toll Brothers, and then on Wednesday we're going to have Etsy, SolarEdge, Fiverr, Analog Devices, and then Wingstop, and then nighttime is going to be Carvana and Toast and Cheesecake Factory, probably three of the biggest ones. Then Thursday's the big day: Alibaba, Walmart, Unity, Wayfair, Cameco. Then in the afternoon you'll have Mercado Libre, Rivian, Block, Square, XYZ, whatever they want to call themselves now, Newmont, and then Booking Holdings. And then Friday, nothing really to worry about. And then when it comes to the data, again, not a lot. Monday we were closed, obviously. Tuesday, Empire State Manufacturing. That's really about it. Wednesday, you have FOMC minutes in the afternoon. Thursday, you'll have unemployment claims, Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, CB Leading Index month over month, crude oil inventories. And then Friday, we get manufacturing PMI, and then services PMI, existing home sales. And then University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment revised. So, should make for an interesting week. Let me know on the bottom what you think is going to happen. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Really appreciate all you guys who watch and subscribe and share the videos. They might sign up for the membership. Let's the McDonald's combo. And I will see you guys later.